Alright, so, oh, hello there. I actually have no idea where I was going with that. I just thought, wouldn't it be funny if I was, like, watching TV? It wasn't.
Hello there.
Welcome to another episode of Goblin Schmoblin Craft Edition Computer Table, coming to you semi-live. I made sure to dictate at least 4 things that need to be done with the table today. So I'm not going to lose track, and I know that I will be able to get these things done today. For a fact. Alright, so Magical Piñata. What is the magic board? So today it says, how poetry saved me. So I've come across a few poems. I'm not an avid poetry reader. You know what? And there, you know, it's true. There is this poem right here. It's called Wild Geese, and it's by Mary Oliver. There's just something very nice and spiritual about Mary Oliver's work, and this poem in particular, which I'm not going to read it to you because I don't want to butcher I guess your experience. There's so much about poetry I don't know that I've heard of. Like how it's structured, A, B, C, or experimental kind of ways of having it written sideways or something. It's very much part of the experience, so I encourage you to go read it yourself. It's on brand. Goose, goose, goose. That's the first poem really that I have memory with. And it's obviously much later into my adult-ish life. Not so much, I didn't have any like poetry experiences when I was younger as a kid. Aside from stuff like songs, whoa. It's tea time. That's what that means. Sorry, songs, aside from songs for Dylan. Now what is this? This is a cassette that my mom had bought for me when I was probably 2 years old, and it's songs for me because that's my name. And the adventure song, I Wonder, Shake Like a Tree, Sing Like a Star. These are like little sing-song poems that are in my head that I have distinct memory of, that if you play I'll probably Interstellar style, I have seen poems really affect people before. I had an instructor for a Vietnam film literature class. This instructor read us a poem. One of the things we read was a poetry book. I think it was about the memorial, the stone wall. Really beautiful experience seeing how it affected this instructor, and I think that was one of the really first times that I ever started to click in my head, because I'm not an avid kind of reader. Reading was hard for me when I was younger. It was hard to get into. Very much more a visual person. Give me a comic book, give me some anime, give me a movie, that kind of stuff I can digest really well. But reading was difficult. I know I really didn't start reading until I got into college. That's when I started reading, and that's okay. Yeah, I think that's a testament to poetry. If I ain't ever heard one, I turned into Festus, and I don't know why. Oh, because we were watching Westworld. So, now how do I incorporate that into this table? Maybe I could embed this poetry in the inside of the table. No, you know what I will do? I will write a poem on the inside of this table. I know what this table's going to be named, and I'm not telling you yet. You have to wait. I've already decided it. I decided it months ago when I wasn't even working on it, but I knew that's what I was going to call it. And you'll just have to wait until the end of this whole, till it's all built to know what I'm going to call it. And what do I mean, what am I going to call it? I mean, like, when I turn the computer on and it's working, hopefully, the name I'm going to give the computer, like, operating system. I'm not going to write a poem. I'm not sure if I'd write a good poem. But I will put something poetic in the inside. I mean, I guess I could put some old lyrics or something. I don't know. I will write something on the inside of it. I don't know what it is yet, but I will know later today. And I do have a confession to make. So usually I will film the intro here and then spontaneously go out and start working on the table. But today I kind of cheated a little bit, and I went out earlier this morning and did some work because it was going to get hot again, and I did not want to do it out now because now it's past the middle of the day and it's hot, and also I think a thunderstorm is going to roll in. I don't know. And here's the footage of what it was that I did. So that's what I did this morning, and now we're going to do the rest of the work inside in a controlled environment where it's nice and cool. It won't be, you know, too much cooler because that back room still traps heat, but it'll be better than being outside. So yeah, that's the plan for today. We are rocking today. We really are, and I am so sore. I hardly did anything, and I'm sore. Alright, so as you can see, I have cut out the holes that I've needed now for this project. But I am going to put the components that are going to stick through here to make sure that they fit. As you can see, it is a little rough around the edges, a little janky. That's just how it's going to be. Of course, later on I will cover these with mesh. A metal mesh, so that, you know, they're just not open holes, and so it doesn't get dust kind of sucked in there. The power saw, as you can see, really likes to cut pretty deep in here, and also I'm scared of that thing. I'm not going to get it perfect my first time, but I think I got it pretty close. Anyway, there's no way I can cut through this, so I'm just going to use a drill bit and drill some holes and kind of knock it through. Oh, I want to talk about this last thing. Something I didn't know, but like is an obvious kind of thing now that you think about it, is like when you cut something and it's going really fast, it can like catch on whatever it is and kind of like sling it out. So that's kind of what happened. It didn't sling this out, but what it did was it caught on the wood here and kind of like cut a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reinforce this by putting some wood and kind of screw just to reinforce it a little bit. It's really not too much of a big of a deal. It's more of a cosmetic issue than anything, but here's the thing, you're not going to see it because the table is going to lie flat. Well, this part's going to lie on top of it, so you won't see any of this, but this is basically what the bottom is going to look like. Again, air will come in here, air will come in here, and air will go out here. Alright, so here is the fan. This is the part that's going to be attached to the processor. The fan is on the other side, so I'm going to see if it kind of goes up in here to see if it fits. So let's see if I did my measurements correctly. Boom! I think you're starting to get the picture, right? I mean, I was excited before, but now I'm even more excited. Let's see if the battery fits. Here's the battery. Oh, it's just about... Well, I'm really happy because this has clearance too. There's just a piece of wood here. I don't want to do that right now because I don't want to get wood inside this brand new piece of electronics. So last thing is this hole over here. What is it for? Well, let me talk about it. So this hole is for the graphics card, dedicated wham. The way I measured this is that it does need about this much clearance of space for air to flow through, but it's not going to stick out the bottom. So that's why I don't really need to measure this one. Now that we know everything works and is good, let's get to work. Okay. So we did a couple of things. I've done all of the things I wanted to do except for sanding. I haven't sanded yet because I'm not going to sand in here. And it's too hot. It's like 109 degrees outside with the humidity. It is too hot outside to do that right now. And a little cutout for the ports. This is where all the cables are going to come out, like the power cord and everything. We also have the threaded inserts, which is great because then I can just, attach it and detach it like so with the little screws so that it's all held together. Yeah, so we're really close. We're really close. I'm really excited to start actually putting stuff inside this box. But yeah, it does need to be sanded. I am not going to have it not sanded and have computer components in there. It needs to be sanded, and I need to take the air blower and just blow all the dust off of it. I've debated about whether or not I want to seal it or not. I just don't know if I want to. I feel like a sealer, I don't really know if I need one. Yes, the thought has crossed my mind that if computer components in here are not working and they get too hot, that they could start a fire. My thing is, I don't know what sealing the table will do. If I seal it with something, might it make it more flammable? I don't know. I mean, it's a table. It's probably just as flammable as any other table that has a laptop on top of it, right? Except this table is designed for air. Well, it's not designed for air, but it does have airflow designed into it. The future plan too, is to even put fans underneath here to suck the air in even better. That's if I'm not getting good airflow coming into the box, the computer table. Oh, and I might as well show you here, this is just the extra support that I put. I just screwed this in where I accidentally cut with the saw on here, so that it's just a little more durable when it comes to, yeah, see, look at that, yeah. Alright, so it's later in the day. It's still pretty hot, 104. It's not lower like I thought it was going to be, so no sanding today. But I do have my lit orange screws here that are going to go into, these holes. Computer parts are going to hang suspended when this is upside down. Anyway, so I decided to go ahead and do this right now instead of going outside. I'm going to start threading these, and we're going to see how far we get. Forgot about my Hilichi. These screws are much longer, right? And they can actually thread through the full way. Of these in, and then we'll get the circuit board and we'll actually try it out. Let's go ahead and see how it fits. Alright. already I can tell an attempt was made, but adjustments need to be made as well. See, let me see which one's the culprit. It looks like this one. This one's the culprit. See, it's just off there a little bit. Okay, so I decided to not get carried away with more work. I'm just gonna leave the table as it is. I will fix that hole tomorrow or another day. We need to close out on the poem. So I don't know who to pick from. You know, I'm currently reading Tarantula, Bob Dylan's, you know, it's a mess. So, but then I thought, maybe I could write something that I've written, you know, maybe not a poem, but, you know, lyrics or something. And I looked through my phone, I couldn't, you know, my notes, and didn't find anything. And then I remembered I have something that I have said before, like a quote I guess we could use. A friend of mine just sent it to me. So a friend of mine just sent it to me via an email correspondence and quoted it. This is a quote that I said. Okay, some backstory. The valedictorian at my high school for our grade, her name was Anaí Garza. This was back in 2013, was looking for a quote to say at the end of their speech. She was going around the classroom, I believe it was in Mr. Hand's class, just asking, you know, students, the rest of us, people that were there, for a quote to say, and I came up with this thing, this quote, and she wound up using it in her valedictorian speech. Which was very sweet. Thank you. I never got to say thank you for that. That's something I suggested was used in a speech like that. So it made me feel like I was also valedictorian for one sentence. So the quote is, "Tomorrow's success is no mystery to me." So that's what I'm gonna write. I know it's not a poem, but it is something that it is the first thing that came off of my head. Anaí used it very poetically in her valedictorian speech. Yeah, I'm gonna write that in here. So yeah, that's what I've got for today. That's all I've got for today. I'm tired. So I hope you enjoyed watching this episode. I know I did. I mean, not watching it, but participating. I'll make sure in the next couple of episodes that when I'm ready to write that line in, because tomorrow's success is no mystery to me. Yeah, what is that? It's almost 10 years ago. Next year. Woo! Oh, God. Okay, bye. That we survive the shock at all is only possible because the past shelters us on one side, the future on another.